Fishbowl Radio Network, FBRN.US. You're logged on to the Commish radio show right now, and that was a track called Escalade. I don't even want to call it a track. That was a work of art titled Escalade by our special guest, Jeff Aycock. What's going on, Commish?
Hey, man, that's a bad dude, man. See, you didn't even know who Jeff Aycock was until I told you who he was, right?
Yeah, I can't lie.
Again, man, you a new generation, millennial, man.
We call it sleeping. I was sleeping on this.
Sleeping. But speaking of sleeping and things that you can go to sleep on, Casserole Soul Cafe, traditional Southern cuisine at its finest, located at 133 Historic Town Square. That's the town square in Lancaster, Texas. Not Lancaster. If you want to go to Lancaster, you're in Fort Worth. But if you're in Dallas County, it's Lancaster, Texas. In Lancaster, Texas, go over there and holler at Stephen Cobb. You'll be able to see, some of the great food that they have out there and the Texas-sized plates that they have out there. You can't miss it. Casserole Soul Cafe, located in the town square of Lancaster, Texas. And March 2019, and you know and I know where to go when you want to hear jazz. Arlington Jazz Festival 2019, smooth jazz. Norman Brown will be there. Joe McBride will be there. Young Josh Giles, he'll be there. Tom Braxton. I know you know Tom, don't you?
Yeah.
Tom Braxton will be there. And also Kim Walters will be there at the Arlington Music Festival. Hey, pick up your tickets today. King Charles, one of the Fishbowl Radio. What did he get, man? He got like, he was like male host of the year. Beat me out. This guy's just tremendous talent. King Charles, we crowned him. Because King Charles is all of that. Again, Arlington Music Festival 2019, March 1st and March 2nd. Get your tickets. Shout out to all of those people who are listening in. Anthony Bond is there. Paul Backus has said hello to you.
Hey, Paul.
Paul's tuned in. Belinda Titus is tuned in well. They are all here, man, because they saw it and they said, hey, look here, we need to go ahead and have you on the show. And Kathy Williams is tuned in too. She said, you've been around a long time. She used to see you, used to play with a good friend of mine. I'll talk about that in a minute. But meanwhile, I think we got a caller that's called in. What we got? Hello, caller.
This is Deborah Curtin.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
I can't hold it.
Good.
Excellent.
Good. I wanted to close the year out by inviting all of those people who helped make the Commish radio show the brand that it is. And you were one of the first co-hosts I had with Sam Eccles. And a lot of people, they know my co-hosts, such as, the incomparable, Paula Kemp Williams. But before it was Paula Kemp Williams, it was yourself and Sam. How you been?
I've been good. I was pleasantly surprised when I logged on and I thought it had Mr. Jeff there. I was like, hey.
Yeah, see, if you would have been up here, you'd be able to hang out with us and everything. But we got.
I told you.
I know what you told me.
I was in Dallas last week.
I know. Wish we could have did the show last week, but we had somebody else last week. But we had Jeff coming on, and he's gonna play that New Year's Eve song for us as we say goodbye to 2018 and we go into 2019. But you've been all right.
I can't complain. Celebrating my birthday today. Guess what I'm doing?
What are you doing?
I'm gonna go roller skating. Thank you, Mr. Ayers. I bet everybody can't say they got that for their birthday.
No, they can't. I was going to sing for you, but the script told me.
No, that's okay. Let's not mess up that beautiful tribute. Okay.
I'm feeling some kind of way. Now, we wanted to go ahead and thank you. As I told you before, we'd like to thank you for calling in. And, hey, next time you're up in the area, come see us, okay?
Absolutely. And, hey, close the year out doing doing what you do. May the best thing that happened to you in 2018 be the worst thing that can happen to you in 2019.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it. Thank you, now. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
right.
Take care.
All right.
Bye.
All right, man. Look here, man. You just winning all over, man.
Hey.
Come on up to the mic, man. I know I don't want to touch your saxophone, man. Man, how you been, man?
I've been good.
Good. Well, we've been wanting to get you on the show for a long time. It seems like every time I go to an event, you always say, man, when I'm gonna come on your show. Man,
Yeah, it's been a minute.
yeah, it's been a minute.
I'm glad to be here.
Well, I'm glad you're here. Tell us about yourself, man.
Well, I'm blessed. Been playing for a long time, 50-some years. And God is good. All of my dreams is coming true. Got some great grandkids. And I'm fortunate to be able to play for governors, mayors, and senators, and city council, and you, the Commish.
Yeah.
I'm good.
But you told me earlier when we were in the green room, which is really not a green room, it's really right out there. You told me earlier that you had mentioned that you would have to go to this place in Arlington to go on the radio show. And the person told you, said, you're going to be on the Commish radio show?
Yeah, I said, what is the Commish? I said, you mean Ed? I said, yeah, that's the Commissioner. I said, what? I thought he was talking about the Commissioner.
Now, you know, it's the fun thing about doing this show is that, you know, I meet people such as yourself, and these moments that we have is like highlight moments for me because, you know, I see people being real, and that's what makes my show the way it is. You know, I'm real with people.
Yeah, it seems like it. I got a new respect for you since I've been on your show. It's totally different from when I see you out in the field. It seems like it's up close and personal now. The way you directing this and directing that, I said, oh, almost like me doing music.
But it's what it is. It's what it is. It's what it is. And I've seen you do your show before because the last time we actually shared the stage before. DC the honors, which is done by Councilman Casey Thomas.
Right.
Yeah, Councilman Casey Thomas. So that's the first time I really saw you up close and personal do your deal. Now, Kathy Williams told me, and she's been online, she said that you used to play with Cornell Morrell.
Oh, yes. Yes, that was one of the highlights of my life. I met Cornell coming out of a bad experience with some personal issues for myself. I never played with a gospel group such as that, where you meet 2 or 3 times a week. They did prayer and we practiced on music. And he was the minister of music, of course. But it gave me some substance and it took me away from another life where I was at that particular time.
Now Cornell was the minister of music?
Yes, he was. He was. And we had a nice rehearsal hall and I think it was 65 of us. And it was a great band, a great choir, a great experience.
Now, I remember Cornell from when we attended high school together at D. Carter High School. Attended high school together, and we called him Peebo back then. Peebo Bryson was blowing back then, and it wasn't blowing.
Yeah, he's a very talented person, very talented artist. And I think at that particular time, Kirk Franklin was just getting his start, and they were close at that time also. And it was a great deal. It really was.
Now you say you've been playing for 50-something years.
Yes.
Man, you ain't number 55 yourself, aren't you?
Well, I think I have a 49-year-old daughter, 48. Hey,
What?
I got old.
What?
Yeah.
Well, when did you start playing?
I started playing at 13, 14 at Percy Anderson Junior High School. I come from a family of 13 kids. Didn't have no money. I went to the band director, which was Allison Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you really want to play? I said, yes, sir. He said, well, where's your horn? I said, have no horn. You know, get your mother, get your horn. We couldn't afford nothing. But I kept going to the band room when they were having practice, sitting in the back. And he said, you really want to play? said, yes, I really want to play. So he got me a horn, and I started practicing. And finally, I went to a pawn shop. Got my first little horn out of the pawn shop.
That was a sax.
No, it was clarinet.
Clarinet.
Yes, bass clarinet. That's what I started on, bass clarinet. McCloudy was at Percy Anderson. Then I went to Lincoln and got a sax there. I started on sax at Lincoln. I played bass clarinet at Percy Anderson.
And what year did you graduate from Lincoln?
Hold up, man.
You ain't no woman. So
Okay.
that don't apply to us. Man. We
Okay.
can say how old we are.
Okay, I graduated in 71
71? Okay. From Lincoln High School?
from Lincoln High School, and then I went to Wiley College.
Okay.
I was drum major at Wiley.
Drum major.
Yeah, man, rock and roll, disco soul. Oh, that was dead. That's old now.
How many instruments can you play?
Hey, my major was music, so I have knowledge of all instruments. You know, I can play all of them.
I have knowledge of all instruments too. I can tell you that's
that's a description.
Ah.
That's not knowledge.
Yeah, that's
Something
true.
defined.
That's true.
But I practice on piano every day for dexterity for my fingers because I have these big hands for speed, and then I practice on 3 or 4 different saxes every day.
Now, who's your favorite saxophone player outside of yourself?
Probably Kim Waters first, then Kirk Whaley.
Kim Waters.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be with us in March, then? Kim Waters.
If I'm not booked.
Okay.
But I like Kim Waters a lot and Kirk Whaley.
Kirk Whaley?
Yeah.
I love Kirk. I love Kirk. I was up in Memphis and I checked him out. He has this place right next to the Stax Museum.
Mm.
Yeah. So, saxophone player, the saxophone player that you are. Who else have you played for outside of this?
I was on the road with Johnny Taylor for 20 years. Fortunately enough. Then I was.
You got a lot of story about Johnny Taylor.
Yeah, all of them good though. He was like a father, a brother, a mentor, all that good stuff on the road. Got to meet a lot of people. Aretha Franklin,
Mm-hmm.
I got to meet her playing with Johnny. In fact, we played for Aretha's 50th birthday party in Detroit.
You and Johnny?
Yes. Yes, and I got to get up close and personal with her because she loved the saxophone. But her bodyguard said, "Hey, buddy,
Get back.
get back."
Get back.
Somebody I met your kind. I said, "What is my kind? Just a horn player."
I was with Johnny about 2 weeks before he died. He passed away, and we were at the Anatole Hotel, 100 Black Men event, and it was pretty cool, man. He came in, you know, he was decked out. Johnny could dress all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had designers.
And I was tripping out on one of the things I was tripping out was that we get ready to go to a break. One of the things I was tripping out, just like being around people such as yourself, that everybody's everybody, right? So Johnny comes through, and also was Marlon Jackson that was there too. And Marlon was talking to me. We was talking about Shaq, how Shaq was dealing with him on the basketball court and everything. It was just me, Marlon Jackson, and Johnny Taylor just sitting there chilling and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It was like one of those moments that you was talking about when you meet like people like Aretha Franklin.
Right.
And you realize that there are a lot of good people who do a lot of good things, but they're just, you know, they're just people.
Right.
They're just people. All right. When we come back, we're gonna go ahead and if you can play a riff for me, I mean, that sure be great, man.
I think I can.
You can? Well, let's hear it before we leave out. Then we go ahead to. All right. Strip. What do you think about that, man?
Man, this is amazing. This is awesome. I'm trying so hard to stay out of fan mode right now.
I know.
We'll be right back after this break.
The Arlington Music Hall presents 2 nights of March Jazz at the 3rd Annual Arlington Jazz Festival, March 1st and 2nd at the Arlington Music Hall, 224 North Center Street in downtown Arlington, right next to Babe's Chicken. On March 1st, the awesome Norman Brown comes to town.